All right, so here we have Roman numeral 4. We're going to solve by the quadratic formula. So again, check your vocabulary. It is expected that you already know the quadratic formula here. So let's take into consideration this particular problem. And we need to be able to identify the A, the B, and the C. So in this case, the A is 1. The B is 5, and the C is 1. So what we're going to do is just substitute that into the quadratic formula. So we've got negative b, right? So we've got negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and it's all over 2a. And so from here, all you're doing is your algebra, just simplifying. We've got 25 minus 4. That's going to end up being a 21. So you've got negative 5 plus or minus rad 21 over 2. I would like you to get in the habit of separating that as negative 5 over 2 plus rad 21 over 2, or negative 5 over 2 minus rad 21 over 2. So that's going to be how you write your final answers. So let's take a look at number 2. These are way too easy. Should give you a more difficult one. So I'll give you a difficult one on the you try. So let's take a look. We can see that our A is 1. Again, our B is 1, and then C is 2. So the quadratic formula states negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and it's all over 2a. So I just first substitute everything, then I go back and start simplifying. So I've got 1 minus 8. Well, if I have 1 minus 8, that means I'm going to have a negative inside there. So that means I've got negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 all over 2. And hopefully you can see that that negative 7 inside that radical is going to make it imaginary. So I've got negative 1 over 2 plus I for the imaginary part, rad 7 over 2, or negative 1 over 2 minus I rad 7 over 2. And that's how you're going to be writing your answers on that. Again, this is review for most of you, if not all of you. If you're struggling with this, it would be a good idea for you to come into tutoring. But try utilizing this formula or this problem using the quadratic formula. Pause the video and then come back and check your work. So in this case, we have A is equal to 9, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to negative 2. So according to the quadratic formula, x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So when I simplify that, I get negative 3 plus or minus 9 minus, which actually is going to be a plus. Notice you have a negative and then another negative, so we're going to add. And then it looks like we have 36 times 2 is 72, and it's all over 18. So let's simplify that one more time. We've got negative 3 plus or minus 72, and 9 is 81. Yay, I like perfect squares. So we end up getting, in this particular case, x is equal to negative 3 over 18 plus 9 over 18. I got 9 because the square root of 81 is 9. Or Negative 3 over 18 minus 9 over 18. Well, we can't just leave our answers like that. We actually need to simplify them even further. So what you have here is you could add them. They're already got common denominators, so you're good. So negative 3 plus 9 is going to be 6 over 18, which is the same thing as 1/3. So 1/3 is one of my answers. And then over here, if I were to simplify that, I'm going to have negative 12 over 18. And if I were to simplify that by dividing each of those terms by 6, I am going to get negative 2/3. So in that case, I have both of these as my answers.